Good morning, everyone. Many years ago, my parents took us to Spain on holiday, and we went with my aunt and uncle and my cousin. It was in the very, very early days of people going to Spain, so it was all very new and very different for us. And one evening, our mums and dads decided that they would leave us at home and they would have a night out on their own. We were teenagers at the time. And so they decided to do this evening cruise on a boat with a meal and some wine and stuff like that. And off they went. And while they were out on the boat, someone saw something in the water. I don't know, it was a dolphin or something like that. But the response of everyone on the boat was to move to the one side. And so everybody moved to the one side, and obviously the boat began to list quite significantly, and everybody kind of cried out, and then they moved back again, and the boat righted itself. But it led to a conversation between my aunt and uncle about what would have happened had they been on a boat with their daughter and that had happened and they'd been thrown into the water. So they talked about this scenario where my aunt and uncle and their daughter, my cousin, were in the water together, and my uncle was holding them up, and obviously he wouldn't be able to hold them up for a long time, and he's faced with the scenario of who would you choose, and he said, you know, to his wife, that's a no-brainer. I'd really have to save our daughter, and you know, as much as I don't want you, I would have to let you go. Well, my aunt was not amused. She went loopy. She went in the huff for a day. Couldn't believe that he wouldn't save her, or at least try to save both of them. It was really, really funny. The sad thing today is that many people have to make those kinds of decisions. Doctors today are having to make decisions about who they can save and who they can't save, and that must be the most awful situation to be in. And in many ways, that's the ultimate terrible decision to have to make. And the lovely thing about this text on use from the study from Hebrews 7:25 is that it says God is able to save completely. And here is this lovely thought that God doesn't have to make a decision about who to save and who not to save, because for some people he's not able to save them. This text tells us that he's absolutely able to save completely, and that means that God doesn't have to make a choice between you and someone else, and he doesn't have to make that choice of someone else before you. The reality is God is able to save completely. And not just that, we're encouraged that he intercedes for us. And that's a real encouragement to those of us who are facing difficult circumstances at the moment and challenging times. That we can come before God and sit before our God and say, God, I just thank you that you're able. I thank you that you're able to do stuff completely. And I thank you that right now you intercede for me. And so I'm not in mourn. I'm not facing this situation. I have at my disposal the intercession of the God who is able. And I want to encourage you with that this week. There are some cases where some things aren't able, and you have to feel for the grouse in Scotland today. You might know, but it's the glorious 12th, the 12th of August. It's the start of the grouse season. So spare a thought for those grouse that can't be saved today. Well, that's a thought. Have a good week, folks. God bless.